How you squirtin'? In today's video, we're gonna be going over everything we know about Chapter 5 Season 2. And there's actually a lot. We're gonna be going over the Battle Pass skins, some of the hidden collabs, maybe even some of the mythic items, as well as new mechanics, new storyline stuff happening, and new game modes. So if any of that interests you, make sure to keep on watching. And if you want to support the channel, join my Discord, where a lot of like-minded people talk about Fortnite and other games. It's a great place to find new friends. Talk to me if you want to. Use code JoJoJosiah and support me on Patreon. But most importantly, enjoy the video. Here we go. So first on my list, we have the possible Doctor Who collab. Now this one is more just speculation because we've had it rumored for a long time now, and we thought it was going to be happening at some point. It maybe got pushed back, and I don't watch Doctor Who, so I don't know if there's maybe a connection to other stuff in this season, but that would be interesting to see if it finally happens. Also, just to get the collabs out of the way, I think it would be really cool if we got a Hades collab. Maybe we got Zagreus in the game. That would be awesome. And that leads into our next topic, which is actually the theming and the battle pass for next season. Now, we had a lot of Greek themed skins leaked out in the surveys. So a lot of mythological gods like Zeus, Hades, etc. Now, a lot of people think that this means that we will be getting a Greek theme for next season, as well as actually more things leaking out through the files that I'll talk about later in the video. So I don't think all of these will happen, but people made a lot of really good comparisons to what we could get. So there are ones like Aphrodite, Apollo, Ares, Artemis, Athena, Hermes, Hades, Hephaestus, Medusa, the Minotaur, Cerberus, Artemis, and there's actually two styles for Artemis: Persephone, Hermes, an unknown one, and maybe a Greek outfit. Now, I think maybe half of these are likely, especially Ares, Cerberus, the Minotaur, Medusa, Hermes is there, Athena probably as well, and I'm not too sure about the rest. Some of these ones are pushing it a little bit for me, but I do think this is very strong evidence that we will be getting a Greek mythological themed battle pass or just skins in the game. Now, how a lot of people know about this is there is actually a Zeus spawn effect in the files, meaning more than likely he will be a boss next season. Even if you look at the map now, it's very clear that we're in a Europe based area, so it would make a lot of sense for the next season to be themed around Greek mythological characters and gods. And I actually think there's a ton of really cool things they can do with this theming. I mean, there's so many Greek gods and so many half-blood and just so much cool stuff, not to mention that they could probably finally bring Kratos back. I actually have this theory. I think it's a very high chance he will come back this season, and maybe even with more God of War skins. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like the collab version of the battle pass. So after that, we are actually rumored to be getting hijacking mechanics, something about being able to take over someone else's car. I have a theory, and maybe this won't make sense, but I actually think we might get a sort of chariot vehicle, and maybe the hijacking would be you can like jump on and push the other person off. And I personally haven't seen the files or what got leaked out of this. I just think it would be cool, and it's definitely possible. Next, if you somehow haven't heard, we are actually going to be getting a Floor is Lava mode returning that is called Midas's Floor is Lava, if I remember right. So that's when we get into the story portion of this video, and I'm going to save the coolest stuff that we have for next season for the end of the video. But this is my theory. Okay, so I don't know if many of you know, and this might sound so dumb. I think Midas is going to be coming back with the Floor is Lava mode, and we are going to be getting a volcano area again, or something like it. For those of you who don't know, we are actually going to be getting earthquake tremors again in the game in about 2-ish weeks. And one of the times this has happened in the past, it actually made a volcano come up through the ground. Now, I think it is very possible that we get a Pompeii POI, and maybe throughout the next season, a volcano is slowly but surely going to erupt, and that is going to cause the Floor is Lava mode to come out. And maybe Midas is even going to push that volcano eruption along. So while I'm not well versed on the topic, here is what I think Pompeii was. I believe Pompeii was ruled by the Greeks a long time ago, and then Romans came and sort of took it over, but then the volcano erupted and became what we know of Pompeii as today. Pompeii got absolutely destroyed by a volcano eruption, and I do believe that they are going to tie that sort of lore in with the Fortnite story and with Midas. Now, that is a crackhead theory, and I am aware of that. I kind of like coming to those conclusions, but I do think it would make sense with the tremors that we are going to have with Midas. I think Midas is actually going to be the one to push the volcano to erupt so that it destroys basically all of his enemies. This might happen towards the end of the season. I could be completely wrong. In fact, I am probably completely wrong. But let's get on to the rest of the story that could happen. So if you don't know, Valeria is a very important person to the story right now and actually somehow possesses Pandora's box. I believe that Jones is going to back her into a corner towards the end of the season, in which case, in a last-ditch effort, Valeria is going to open Pandora's box. Now, what I suspect to happen is this is going to unleash the Greek gods in some aspect. Now, a lot of people have noticed on the map right now that the iceberg is melting. So this could mean either the Pandora's box will further along that melting and maybe we'll get a new city under there where the Greek gods are, or more likely, I think this will be a separate thing. I think the Pandora's box opening might be when the earthquakes actually start happening. And then the iceberg melting, I'm almost wondering if that's where Midas is. And maybe these instances are going to just happen to coincide. Or who knows, maybe one will further along the other. But at the end of the day, we know we're going to get Midas and we know we're going to get these Greek gods. And this leads me to what I think is the best part of this video because it makes me the most excited. Please, Epic Games, if there's any way to make this happen and you haven't already planned this, please listen. I think it would be so cool if we got Greek mythological god themed mythics as items in the game. Imagine a Zeus thunderbolt you could throw at people, maybe like a Medusa move that turns them to rock, a Hermes move that like speeds you up a ton, maybe Poseidon could unleash a wave, or Hades throws a spear at people, or maybe Athena has like a really dope new shield. I think all of these Greek gods could have such cool items and I hope they do something with that, please. Also, the last really cool thing that they're probably going to add is some sort of swinging or rappelling mechanic. Now, this is just what I heard on Twitter, but I could see it definitely happening for sure. It seems that pretty much every new season they try to add some new movement mechanics, so I think this could be really cool and probably make a lot of the movement more interesting in the game. All right, I hope you like this video. Make sure you join the Discord. Support me on Patreon if you want to show this channel extra support. Use my code, which is JoJoJosiah, in the item shop. And before I leave, I want to read you out what my dumbass followers on Twitter said was going to happen in this new season. They said Fortnite Festival is adding sex. It's going to have a collab skin and a battle pass. There's going to be downtime. Young Sheldon. I think there'll be a battle pass. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my source. We are getting a Megamind collab. All you need to know about Chapter 5 Season 2, it will have guns. Oh, and it'll probably have gameplay too. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video and keep on squirting.